Of the 5 villages, Vernazza is widely considered the most beautiful, a tight cluster of pastel-coloured houses tumbling down to a small natural harbour where fishing boats bob between the rocks. The 15th century church of Santa Margherita d'Antiochia stands at the harbour's edge, and the medieval Doria castle tower above offers the best village-level panorama in Cinque Terre. Sit at one of the harbour-side tables with a glass of local Vermentino white wine and watch the light change. It is one of the great, simple pleasures in Italy. The Sentiero Azzurro, the coastal trail connecting all 5 villages, is one of the most celebrated walks in Italy, weaving between vineyards, olive groves, cliff edges and rocky coves with the turquoise Ligurian Sea glittering below at every turn. Sections vary in difficulty, but the trail between Monterosso and Vernazza, roughly 3.5 kilometers, and between Vernazza and Cornelia are the most rewarding. The trail requires a Cinque Terre card, which also covers the regional train, and sections are occasionally closed for maintenance. Check current conditions before setting out. Manarola is the village that made Cinque Terre famous. Its image, taken from the hillside viewpoint above the village, showing coloured houses stacked above a rocky sea inlet, is one of the most reproduced travel photographs in the world. In reality, it is even better, especially in the golden hour before sunset, when the facades blush amber and rose. Hike up to the Nessun Dorma bar, which takes its name from the Puccini aria, perched on the cliff top, and watch the sky turn over the sea with an Aperol spritz in hand. The southernmost of the 5 villages, Rio Maggiore tumbles down a steep ravine to a small harbour lined with tower houses painted in deep terracotta, yellow and burnt orange. It is the gateway village for most travellers arriving by train from La Spezia, but don't rush through. The main street, Via Colombo, is a lively place lined with trattorias serving the local Ligurian specialty of trofie al pesto, and the harbour promontory walk offers dramatic views back over the village from the sea. Monterosso is the largest and most resort-like of the 5 villages, and it is the only one with a proper sandy beach, a long sun-soaked strip backed by bars and restaurants where visitors can rent sun loungers and spend a proper beach day. The old town, the antico countryside of the village, is separated from the modern quarter by a rocky headland, and its medieval lanes and the giant Neptune statue carved into the cliff top make it the most varied village to explore on foot. Corniglia is Cinque Terre's secret, the only village with no direct sea access, sitting instead on a promontory 100 metres above the water and reachable from the train station only by a long staircase, the Larderina, or a shuttle bus. The reward for the climb is a tranquil, slightly otherworldly village, where the tourist crowds thin noticeably. The lanes are narrow and vine-shaded, and the views from the main terrace in both directions along the coast are frankly extraordinary. Seeing Cinque Terre from the sea reverses your perspective entirely. The villages, which from inside feel intimate and labyrinthine, reveal themselves from the water as miraculous eruptions of colour rising from sheer cliffs. Boat tours depart from Monterosso and La Spezia in summer, stopping at harbours along the coast and offering swimming stops in coves inaccessible from land. The view of Manarola from the sea in particular is breathtaking in a way that no hilltop viewpoint can quite match. The Via dell'Amore, a cliffside path carved into the rock face between Rio Maggiore and Manarola in the 1920s, was closed for years following rockfall damage but has gradually reopened in sections, and the completed route is one of the most romantic short walks in Italy. The narrow path hugs the cliff about 10 metres above the sea, offering close-up views of the coastline's geology as well as glimpses of the villages at both ends. Padlocks left by couples are a charming tradition along the railings. Most visitors stick to the coastal Blue Trail, but the network of inland trails that climb steeply through the UNESCO-protected terraced vineyards and chestnut forests of the Cinque Terre National Park offer a completely different perspective. The high-level trail, Sentiero Rosso, connects all 5 villages along the ridge above, taking a full day to complete, with sweeping views over the coast that dwarf those from the villages themselves. Spring and autumn are the best seasons. The vineyards are at their most dramatic in October's harvest. Cinque Terre has been producing wine from grapes grown on its dramatic terraced hillsides for at least 1,000 years, and the local DOC white wine, made principally from Bosco, Albarola and Vermentino grapes, is crisp, mineral and perfect with seafood. The rare amber-coloured Cinque Terre, a passito dessert wine made from dried grapes, is produced in tiny quantities and worth tracking down at a local enoteca. Pair either with the regional classics, trofie al pesto, anchovies from Monterosso, and grilled fresh-caught fish.